Namaste everyone, Suprabhatam. Arjuna asked one question about sannyasa and tyaga, and answer to that is even continuing in today's shloka. So first Krishna said that sannyasa and tyaga, they are not different, they are both renunciation. Then he says, I will talk to you about three types of sannyasa or tyaga. But before saying that, few important factors to be understood which is told in shloka 5 and 6. What are they? First, Vedic knowledge, scriptural knowledge, whenever it says anything, it keeps the target audience in mind, like who is the audience who is listening to a particular topic. If that is not understood, then scriptural statements can appear as contradictory. Some places scriptures say that do action, perform action. Some other places scripture says renounce actions. So they are seemingly contradictory. But if we know who is the target audience, then we can interpret. So according to Veda, when it comes to talk about sannyasa, the entire population of people are divided into two groups. One group who is prepared for sannyasa, other group who is not yet prepared for sannyasa. So here in 18th chapter, that second group is kept in mind, who are not yet ready to take the conventional sannyasa. Keeping that in mind, it is told there are some activities, sattvika activities, which should not be renounced. Yajna, dana, tapaha. Contributory activities, charity, and self-disciplining activities. These three should not be renounced. Why so? Because if a person values spiritual growth, the person will also value the preparations required for it. And therefore he will value yajna, dana, tapaha. That is in shloka 5. Next shloka Bhagavan also says, don't even get attached to this religious way of life. Our problem is of two types. We go to two extremes. Either we do not start yajna, dhyana, tapaha, or after starting, we are not able to renounce it when it is required. Intelligent way is enter, get purified, and when required, you can come out of it. You are not entangled into it. That is also important. Shloka 7 and 8 talked about tamasika and rajasika sannyasa. In both cases, people have given up sattvika action. Yajna, dana, tapaha, all are renounced, stopped being done by the person. Then what is the difference between tamasika and rajasika? Action is same, both have renounced. Difference is what is the cause behind renunciation of sattvika actions. For tamasika person, the person does not know the importance and value of yajna, dana, tapaha in one's life. So due to ignorance of the fact, he has given up sattvika action. And ignorance is caused by tamasika guna. That's why tamasika sannyasa. Rajasika person has stopped doing sattvika action because he knows the value of it, but he is too much attached to his body and bodily comfort. So any activity will require some physical strain, and that the person is not able to go through. That's why the person has given up, due to attachment to bodily comfort, and attachment is caused by rajoguna. That's why that type of renunciation of sattvika action is called rajasika sannyasa. Now this shloka is talking about sattvika sannyasa. Here the person knows the value of sattvika actions, that moksha requires self-knowledge. Self-knowledge will require purification of mind. Purification of mind requires me to do sattvika actions. So this knowledge is there in the person. So ignorance is not there. Tamoguna is not there. Second, Rajoguna also is not there. He is not attached to bodily comfort. He knows any type of physical activities will require some amount of physical strain. And that strain do not appear as strain to him. Why? Because when the goal is so much valued and you do not lose sight of the goal, the means, the sadhana required will not look as a burden or stress for the person. That is what is happening in case of sattvika sannyasa. Karyam iti eva yat karma niyatam kriyate Arjuna. Sangam tyaktva phalan cha eva saha tyagaha satvikaha mataha. So, karyam iti eva. I am supposed to do these actions. With this attitude, he performs actions. Yat karma kriyate. So with this attitude, when the action is performed, what type of action? Niyatam. Satvika actions, contributory activities, charity and self-disciplining activities. Now, even if a person is doing business, that can also be converted into sattvika action when the profit is utilized for benefit of the society. If the fund is used for building schools, hospitals, donating in ashrama, gurukula, then that action also is sattvika action. Even the society will pray for that company's benefit because all will be benefited by that. Now one question can come, action is not given up. Then why it is called sannyasa? Sannyasa means renunciation. Then what is that the person is giving up? That is told in the second shloka. Sangam tyaktva phalancha eva. Two things are given up. Sangam and phalam. Sangam means attachment to the action itself. Whenever we do noble action also, if we are attached to that action, that is also not desired. Why? Once one has got the purity of mind, jnana yogyata, that part of activity should be reduced. But if my attachment is so strong to that, it will be difficult to do that, even when it is required. So sangam tyaktva, giving up attachment to the karma. That is point one, that is renunciation number one. Second renunciation is phalamcha eva. Any action that we do can give us two types of results. One is the material benefit. It can be name, fame, money, house, car, anything. Second is spiritual benefit, inner transformation. Like in chapter 16 we have read, na? Abhayam, Sattvasam, Shuddhihi, Tejaha, Kshama, Kshanti, Ahimsa. Those are inner qualities. So they can also be result of good actions. But we cannot seek both. We have to choose one. And Bhagavan recommends that give up the material benefit aspect. They are byproducts. They will automatically come to you. As much as you need, Bhagavan will provide that. So do not seek them as your primary goal. They will come to you. Let the primary goal be spiritual growth or inner purity. That is called phalamcha tyaktva, not seeking even the material benefit. Saha tyagaha satvikaha mataha. That type of sannyasa is called satvika sannyasa. Now one interesting part here is, if you see the definition of satvika sannyasa, and if you go back to chapter 2, that famous shloka, na, samatvam yoga uchyate, starting with yogasthaha kuru karmani. That was the definition of karma yoga. And if you see the satvika sannyasa definition, both are same. So karma yogi itself is being called as satvika sannyasi. And what should be the ideal proportion of actions that we do in day-to-day life? To start with, 60 to 65% should be sattvika actions, contributory activities. Then 30 to 35% rajasika activities for our own need. And the tamasika activities should be brought to zero if possible. Brought to zero, that should be the proportion. And now in the next shloka onwards, the glory of karma yoga or satvika sannyasa will be talked. Thank you.
Very good morning to all. I am very glad to introduce a guest who is with us today, Shri R.S. Pandeyji. He is basically from Lucknow. He recently retired as Zonal CEO of Khadi Gramodyog Ayog. Now he wants to serve S-VYASA. We welcome you, sir, for our S-VYASA and Prashanti Kutiram. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.